Hello, today we're going to work on lesson 28 and we're going to first do subtracting by regrouping. So it says over here, so it says regroup 1 10 and 2 10 ones. And then we have to write how many ones are left and subtract the tens. Then we have to write how many tens. After that, we have to write how many tens are left. Sorry. So we have to first subtract. Let's look at number 1 then. So we have 67 minus 2. So we don't have to regroup if you don't if it subtracts. If this one is smaller than the top one, then we don't have to regroup it. But if it's larger, then we would have to regroup. So let's try. So 7 minus 2 is 5, and 6 minus 0 is 6. So it's 65 for number 1. So we wrote how many ones are left first, right? 5, and then we wrote how many tens are left, so which is 6. So it's 65. Then let's try number 3. So this one, it shows how to regroup now because it's 51 minus 43. So since 3 is larger than 1, we have to borrow from 5. So 5 becomes 4, and 1 becomes 11, right? Because we have to regroup it after borrowing it, right? So 11 minus 3, you have to subtract 11 minus 3, which is 8. And then we have to subtract 4 and 4. So 4 minus 4 is 0. So 8 is the answer for number 3. So let's move on to the next page. So it's the subtracting by regrouping is continued on this page. So let's look at number 5 then. So we have 85 and 26. So again, the bottom number is larger than the top number. So we would have to regroup again. We have to borrow it from the number on the tens place, which is 8. So 8 becomes 7, and then 5 becomes 15 because we have to regroup it, right? So 15 minus 6 is 9. And then 7 minus 2 is 5. So we wrote the 1s and 10s, so it's 59. And then let's look at number 7 on this page. So we have 19 minus 5. So we don't have to regroup on this one because the bottom number is less than the top number. So 9 minus 5 is 4. When I'm saying the bottom number is less than the top number, I'm talking about the number on the ones place over here because we're first subtracting the number on the ones place, right? So I'm talking about these ones. So since 5 is less than 9, we don't have to regroup. So it's 4, and the 1 minus 0 is 1. So it's 14. So 14 is the right answer for number 7. Okay, let's move on to the next page. So again, this is a review from last week's, and it's pre-algebra. So here's an example. So 60 plus 20 is 80. So what goes inside the blank for the equation below? So 80 minus blank is 60. And then from this equation, it shows that 60 plus 20 is 80, which means that 80 minus 20 is going to be 60, right? Because we're moving this one to this one. So yes, so 20 would be the answer. That would go inside the blank, right? So 20 is the answer for for the first example. So then let's try number 1. So it says 30 plus 50 is 80. So 80 minus blank is 50. So again, if it was 50 plus 30 is 80, then it means that 80 minus 30 is 50, right? Because if you move 30 on both sides, if you subtract 30 from both sides of the equation, that it means that 80 minus 30 is gonna equal 50, right? Yes, so 30 is going to be the answer that goes inside the blank. So then let's try number 3. For number 3, we're supposed to find a number that will make the same number for both sides of the equation, right? So what is 30 plus 10? It's 40. Then 20 plus blank, what number makes them 40? So you would have to do 40 minus 20 in order to know what goes inside here. So we know that 20 plus 20, or 40 minus 20. So 20 plus 20 is 40, and 40 minus 20 is 20. So with either way, we would know that 20 would go inside this blank. So 20 is the answer for this one. Rest of them you could try, and then let's move on to the next page. So we have word problems over here. So it says for number 1, it says Zach has 29 packs of trading cards. He gives Keisha 17 of them. How many trading cards does Zach have left? So we have to find how many he still has. And then, so it says 29 packs, and then he gave 17 of them, right? So we would have to subtract 17 from 29, since we have to know how many are left, right? So 29 minus 17, so 9 minus 7 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So it would be 12 packs. So 12 would be the answer for number 1, right? Now let's look at number 2. It says there are 47 chickens in the barn. 23 of them lay eggs. How many chickens do not lay eggs? So we would have to subtract 23 from 47 in order to know how many does not lay eggs. Do not lay eggs, right? So 7 minus 3 is 4, and 4 minus 2 is 2. So 24 would be the answer for number 2. Thank you.